So I went around again, and here we are again at the spot where we sewed it together. And now we're gonna actually, it's usually about 2 inches from here to here before we start making the armholes. So I'm gonna do 2 more or 3 to get to the 2 inches. But if you have a smaller dog, only do like 1.5 inches. So I'm going to do 2 more rows and then I'll come back to you. Okay? Put it on pause and then we'll come back. So when you get to after the second round of double crochet, on the third round, do 3 or 4 increases. So you know how you've gone into each one of these? Here's where I did a double. I just put 2 of them in one. Okay, and I went around and I put another 2 in one. So do 4 increases, and then by the time you get around to the next row, just do it straight. Don't do any increases or decreases. Just keep going into the top with the 2 pieces of yarn on the top, and just kind of keep going all the way around till you get to the spot again where now you would have had 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of double crochet, and then we'll stop there for the day. Okay, thanks. Okay, we're back again. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of double crochet. Now we are right here where the seam is. This is the back. And if you want, you can put something to remember that this is the back, because sometimes it gets a little confusing. I have to keep checking to make sure we're doing something on the right side. Anyway, that's the back. Okay. So when you get to this line on number 4, what we can do is we go back about 2. And we're going to do a single crochet, not a, and then another one. That's just to help it to kind of aim its way down, so that by the time we get to here, we're doing this at the right, I don't know how to say that, but anyway, we're doing single crochet now for 1 or 2 rows, depending on how it looks and how it feels. This we might have to do 2 rows because the yarn is very thin. Excuse me. It's not like DK weight, right? So it might be fine, but DK weight, you could just do it once. And what we're looking for is when we're doing the armholes, that it's strong enough to put in and out and in and out and in and out the arms of the dog, and when the claws catch sometimes, and you want it to not catch, but you also want it to be strong enough to keep its firm, like a shape. Now it is stretchy, so what kind of shape is it going to be? Well, if you stretch it all out of shape, it's easy to put it back in. You just rinse it in cool to warm water, depending on the type of yarn you have. If you got any wool in your yarn, do not use warm water. It's usually cool water, and just lay it flat to dry, and it'll shrink back into shape. Now, do you notice that after doing those 4 increases, look how it's making nice shape for the shoulders? It's perfect. So let's look at this. I would say it's probably fine. It's fine, but we want more than fine. We want great. We're going to go around again. And all we're doing is making the armhole more solid. Okay. Okay, here's my marker coming up. So now I can, actually I don't need to go, I will, but I don't need to. I'll go to the spot so that you can keep clear what I'm trying to do. Okay, so on this, you see it's thicker there, right? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so if this is the tummy, this is the underside. The tummy needs about this much. Doesn't need any more. And on the other side, the back side, which would be the back of the back, you can make it a little bit wider. So your armholes are going this way, not this way, this way, so that when the animal moves, there's movement within this. It's stretchy, but it's not constricting at all. Okay, so oh yeah, that's all right. So I am going to now I go single crochet until I think that where the middle is, here's the middle, and about this much. So I'll go one more. So from here to here is half, right? So when I come around back, I go around, come back, I'm going to stop at about here. And that the tinier the chain stitch, the more you have to do. So let's do 17. So now we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 stitches, right? And it looks like it's almost the same as in the front. So what we're going to do, we got 17 on the hook here. We're going to go back 16, 15, 14. So even though the top has 14, the back side will have 17. And then you do a single stitch, okay, to connect it. And now we're going to single stitch again all the way around, okay? So let's just, you see that? It'll be to about here. This will be under the tummy, and this will be where the arm comes out, okay? And it'll leave a lot more on the back than the tummy, which is good. So I went 17 here, and then I went 14 here, and I connected it with a single stitch, single crochet. Now we're going to go out here, and we're going to keep going around until we get to the front, where we need to then do 17 crochet stitches, no, 17 chain stitches. Okay, so we're single crochet right now. Anytime you need to just stop and pause and rewind, feel free. First time I actually did this with somebody watching, and it's like, I don't know how to explain myself. Well, I'm just gonna do it all the time, but anyway, thanks for watching. Okay, so I have about this much to do. 2 more inches. Oopsie. Okay, where are we now? Let's look. Here is where, so we want to be about here, right? About here. Oop, way too far past. Okay, see? That's why we have to kind of keep checking. So Silly mama. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna go back out there. Let's see. We'll do one more. Trying to just even it up. I was just kind of counting the stitches that were like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, close enough, eh? So now here is where we start and we do the 17. Slip stitch. Chain, sorry. Chain, not slip stitch. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, good. Perfect. Ha. Sometimes it doesn't always work out perfect, but okay, let's just check it again. Is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I know I keep checking, but it's better you do that than you don't. That's like a t-shirt. Okay, perfect. Now, we are going to continue. Yeah, we're going to continue with, sometimes I do the double crochet here, but we're going to do this single crochet because the material is, sorry, the yarn is very thin. So we're going to try to keep it as strong as we can and as tight as we can, just material wise, right? Because you're making material. So, okay, so here we go. Now, what do we do with this, right? You go and you take out of the first chain, which is here, and then you take just the one, leave the two on the bottom, right? So then you like that. There you go, like that. So try to keep your chain from twisting, but if it does, don't worry about it. It's best if you do. Okay, here we go. Right there. There you go. Then you just keep going. And keep going, and then I'll meet you when we get back to the bottom where the belly is. Okay. So now we have 2 rows before the armhole and 2 rows after. Remember, it kind of looked like a little t-shirt. So I went around twice on the bottom and then the top. And now we can do this stitch again, which is a single, a double crochet. So I am going to back it up just a little bit. See how it dips in just a little bit here? And this will be kind of, actually be a little higher. So I wanted to start at this end with this stitch to kind of help even that out in height. That's all I was doing. And again, the double crochet is yarn over, in, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again, yarn over, in, yarn over, pull through the 2, pull through the 2 again. And this now, you can do one row of this, and then depending on the size of your dog, past the gird, past the chest. If, say, like they're a Chihuahua, they've got a bigger chest and a very little tummy area, then you need to decrease. Actually, after 2 rows of this, then you got to start decreasing to kind of help it fit so it doesn't sag on the ground, so that it fits nicer. It won't fit really, really snug, otherwise you won't get it over the chest. It has to fit over the chest well and be comfortable. It'll still have a nice shape. It won't be tight, it'll be snug or just a little teeny bit loose, but that's good because then it's not tighter or rubbing on anything, or yeah, like too tight for the tummy. So you just go around and around, and I will meet you back after you have done 2 rows of the double crochet. Okay. Okay, so 2 rounds of the double crochet are done, and now we want to decrease. So look at how much the width has increased, because we had 17 stitches and then 14, so that's 6, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, so 3 and 3 is 6, and now we've got to decrease that. So not all in one shot, so we're going to do 3 in the first one and 3 in the next. Okay, so we're going to do it 1 right here. So we're going to do, so remember when we increased, we went into the same hole. So now this time, we're going to skip 1 and then go into the next one. Okay, and do the same thing there. And then, so you do 1 here and do 1 maybe here and here. So evenly space them out. And we'll go around. Keep the tension good. That's one thing I didn't say at the beginning, is keeping your tension as consistent as possible. If it looks like you're getting too tight or you're getting too loose, just pull it out and then go back and just kind of watch what you're doing, because it's better to have a nice product by the time you're done than, oh my, look at that. We live and learn, right? So now when I do the next row, I will not be placing them in the same spot. Just, you stagger them, but evenly stagger them. Right? So the next row, do 3, taper them, and then the next row, do another 3. Just don't do them in the same spot, and I'll meet you back here. So I finished the other 2 rows that were reducing. Just remember to measure your chest of the dog, your dog's chest, so that this measures around well. So let's just say it's 16 inches around, not that it is that, but if it's 16 inches, then this has to be 8. But then make it 7, because then it's a little more snug and not loose, and this stretches, right? So always make it a little bit smaller than what the chest measurement is, okay? And then once you get to that, you see how it's going in, then you just continue with just this. If you have like no reducing or no increasing, it's about here, and the male about here, the female about here, depending on where the neck measurement is from the bottom of the neck to where you want it to end. Okay, keep that in mind as well. So that's how long you'll make it, and then depending on if it's a male or a female, just make that adjustment on this end, which is the back, the underside, I should say the underside of the garment, okay? So now you can just continue on. I'll just continue on. I have a female, and I'll just continue on until I get to the right length, and I'll meet you back at that spot. Okay, so I extended it to the length that I needed, And I needed about 9.5, so I'm going from here, the bottom of the neck, and there's about 9.5 on the back side, on the side of the back of the animal, the dog. So the front, what I did is I made it shorter than the back, and then when I got to where I think I needed only about another 1/2 inch, then I started doing a single crochet around so that it would kind of snug it in a little bit. So it kind of hugs their bum, you know, kind of, so it's not airy. And then the bottom part by their tummy doesn't hang low or touch the ground. So that works out like really well. So that's what that looks like on that side. And this side, I did the double crochet more and then single crochet on the end. And so when I was out this side, then I just did the single crochet and then I did double crochet and then single crochet and double crochet so that this would be longer than this. And it's nice and snug now. And then this works out well. I tried it on her, much to her dismay. And let's see, so we'll just cut this off. And then we just take a needle, and like promised, there is only one thread. Absolutely one thread. The other one at the beginning, we actually crocheted it in, right? So there's no pieces to put together. It's all in one smooth pattern. You just have to be watching what you're doing and the measurements and what, you know, how big your dog is. Basically for a 4 or 5 pound dog. But the measurements are important, and the material that you can use, like the yarn, if you've got something that has lots of color, like I was getting now to a yellow in this, here's the yarn, and a peachy and then a bright pink. It's kind of cool because then there's nobody else has one like that. And you're walking your dog and you go, where did you get that? They'd say, oh, well, I got it from Candy for My Soul. I've been in business for about 5 years. It's amazing how fast the time has gone by. And now I'm just progressing into YouTube because it's kind of neat. I have so many things that we do that's so creative, and yet people wonder, well, how do you do that? Well, you just learn how to do it. You pick it up, you learn, you go on YouTube, you learn from, I actually learned crocheting from my mom. And I enjoyed it. She enjoyed it. She did a lot of quilting too. I don't do quilting, but you know, we do what we like to do, right? And it's calming, and it's something I started after taking a stress leave from work, and it just really helped. Anyway, also at the end, if you want, you can put a little tag. You know how you can buy those tags that have your name on it, or made with love by, you know, that sort of thing? Well, I have if I put the camera on here, I don't know if you can see, but a bunch of like tags. Yeah, tags that say Candy for My Soul, and I just try and match a color that would work good. And I think, let's see which one works. The ones that have screws, ones that have they're bolts actually, and then we've got, you can put bells on them. Oh man, that would be pretty on this one. And things like this, like a little heart, you know. That's kind of cute, hey? Anyway, I'll put this back. Let's see. Maybe you can help me figure this one out. Which looks better? Which color? So we got different colors, a little bit different styles. This one has 2. This is very thin. It says candyformysoul.com. There's a little dragonfly on it, actually. Or we can do something like that. But it'll be on the other side. It'll be on the side that shows, or we could do this. What do you think? And then we just sew it on, and there, it finishes it all up. I think that one's all right. Yeah, I'll sew it up and then I'll be back. And there you go. Tags on. Same colored yarn, so it looks nice. Looks finished. So now we're just going to take that last yarn. Just make that, this was the last stitch, right? So now just do a slip stitch like that, pull it through like that, gives you your little knot. Then put that end on a darning needle, and then you're going to go into this part, into the first row of yarn, and that should be just fine. Now whatever your needle, if you can see your needle through that, well, that's where you're going to see your thread, right? So just kind of look and make sure it's all right. Don't pull it through if it looks like you see too much of the line, right? See there, you can't see that. And what you can do, instead of just doing that, go backwards just one kind of half a row down or something. Go backwards. That helps it to stop pulling or unravel. It's like a knot itself. And you can't tell. See? Can't tell. And then you just trim that off. And you're done. There's the underside and top. Okay. Oh, so if you have a bigger dog, all you do is you just change the measurements. So the neck, the chest, the length from the neck to the top of the tail, the beginning of the tail. If it's a male or female, and this is a female, so for a female, so this is fine. But if it's a boy, you stop at about here, and then start doing this at about here. And you can keep doing the back, because you kind of want the back to be longer. Keep doing the back like this, and then coming back over here like I did here. But start it at about here, and then that works really well. So that's very universal pattern. It works well. And the way this, because this is this way, the neck, it helps with any animal that has a longer neck, a shorter neck. It just helps it to fit well. And you have to make sure that in here where your the legs are, that you have done that single stitch twice. That keeps it strong. It keeps it from having their kind of claws catch. It wears better. It doesn't stretch as much. This is all stuff I figured out as I went along. And when I made this pattern, I did look at other patterns, and some of them just, I think they just stressed me out too much because there was too many pieces I had to sew together at the end, and that was, it was just annoying, I guess. And sometimes, and the pattern is fine, it just, I wanted it to flow, and I wanted it to just go in one piece. And so I just, created it as I felt I needed to. And that's interesting about people. People can make anything. You can do anything. You just have to put your mind to it. And if you have the energy or the time, right? And if not, go to YouTube and find out. Anyway, have a good day, and we'll see you next time.